Welcome, everybody. I've got Steve back, and we are here to do the Dagobah set overview. So this is the fourth set in the Star Wars CCG universe.
Yep.
Steve, Dagobah, what do you think?
Well, it's all of our favorite sets, right? It's our favorite sets. It's most classic. No, I think we all probably agree this is probably the worst set in the game, right? It's your least favorite set, right?
I think it's my least favorite set for a bunch of reasons. They tried introducing clunky mechanics, and we'll go over the good, the bad, the ugly, all this sort of stuff.
Right. This is a notorious set. But we'll get into the basics of it first, I guess.
It's also a good lesson that like not every set is going to hit. And this is an example where I think the game designers tried doing some creative stuff, and the creative stuff worked.
I think there's an interesting interview with one of the designers of this on a different podcast, where what they're trying to do is about up through Premier Hoth, the game is mains and toys basically, and they wanted to create other types of decks, like control type decks that you could put together with commons and uncommons, and so they made some really busted manipulation type cards, and that became a huge problem for the game because the game engine does not really lend itself well to, let's just say, other things that are not character battles and starship battles.
100%. And I think it led to probably the peak negative play experience for people with inserts. And what we'll get into. But top line, this is 180 cards, 90 light, 90 dark, 80 rares. I think it goes for a complete set's like $100 to $150. Kind of like that's right now.
Right.
For $250, which using our inflation calculator comes out to about $5 to $6.
Yeah, right. So this was interesting because this is the first set where they lowered the number of cards per pack to 9. So the price went from $3 for 15 cards to $250 for 9 cards. And I do remember people being complaining about this at the time because it felt like you're getting less cards because you are, but I think their argument was you're getting more rares because there's 60 packs in a box. I think the box is the same price, so you're getting more rares per box.
This box is so big. It's like brick.
Yeah. It was really tall, and they also eliminated the rare 1, rare 2 thing. So all rares the same rarity, which is nice. Which is why when you thumb through a stack of like Cloud City cards, you're seeing the big hitters more frequently than you are when you thumb through a stack of Premier.
Very true. You're also seeing cards that you didn't know were rares.
That's right.
Premier's pretty bad, but this might be the peak. Wait, that's a rare? Luke's.
Yeah, totally. I was sorting through my bulk recently, which I do from time to time, and found like some random rare interrupts from Dagobah. I'm like, I guess these should go in my bulk rare box instead.
So you get some cool bounty hunters. You only get 2 light side characters, which I think for a lot of people that were like into collecting the set, this was not great to get just Luke and Yoda, which are very cool characters, right? Iconic, but the rest of it, it's like 58 other, or I guess there's 30, like the other light side rares, 40. So it's like 30 other crappy rares.
I mean, they're being very faithful to the movie. This is the middle part of the movie, and our heroes, Luke and Yoda are training on Dagobah, and Han and Leia are on the Falcon. That's nothing else is happening. It's all just like it's very like story based, but not many characters. So only 2 light side characters, and the dark side is the bounty hunters and a bunch of Imperial officers.
There is a poster. It's pretty cool. There's a rules supplement, which is not. I want to eventually like staple all the rules supplements together and just like unravel it. It's like, okay, let's try again. Because it is like you got a rules supplement with the New Hope. I think you got one with Hoth, then you got one with Dagobah. In addition to the rules, it's like there's just a lot of rules.
And that's when special edition comes out, they roll all the rules into the glossary, and it's just like really thick book that comes in the starter decks.
Yeah. And I do think stuff's gotten a little bit better. I think it's definitely a more complex game now than ever, but I think that some things have been streamlined a little bit.
Yeah.
So timeline, by the way, this came out in April '97. So
that's right.
about 6 month difference between Hoth and Dagobah, so they're kind of on that 2 set per year cadence.
2 sets per year. How quaint.
Yeah, I know. The modern environment, it's like we'll do 6 and then a 7, supplemental.
Yeah.
Oof. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly here.
Yep. Well, there are some good things in this set. I think Yoda and to a lesser extent Son of Skywalker are really cool cards. They're well designed. They're fun. The Executor is the best card in the set, right? I think in terms of like coolness and playability.
Card design, like the way, doing the horizontal card versus the vertical card, super cool. It's something that still makes me feel like, oh, I got to rotate this card. It's great.
It's hard to get into play, but not impossible. Like you actually can deploy it in a regular game of Star Wars. Just somehow they figured it out, and it is justifiably powerful when you get it in play. So it does work.
I agree,
but barely.
Fondor out, which I think I don't know what set that was, but later.
Fondor's in special edition, but even in this format, you can still hard deploy it.
Yeah. Some of the bounty hunters were fun. Zuckuss,
I think they're all cool. Yeah. I put Bosk up here. He's not the best of them, but all the bounty hunters are good enough, and they're all cool.
I agree.
Maybe not for them, but the rest of them are good. Yeah, they're all cool.
The bad. Oof, there's a lot of bad.
A lot of bad. This is just a regular bad. The bounty hunter characters are cool, but all of their stuff is bad. So all their weapons and all their ships are bad, basically.
Yeah, I think just a point on the bad is if you're like sorting through like 180 cards, how many of these are still useful if you're building even a retro deck or whatever, Premier to Death Star 2? There's maybe like 9 cards of 180 that are relevant, right?
Yeah. And it's a bummer that the bounty hunter ships and weapons aren't good. I guess the Houndstooth is kind of okay because you can take a vehicle and land it, but still. But no, like you want this stuff to be good. When you open a main character's weapon or ship, like you really, look at that picture. I've never seen this before. That's a bit like it's not playable really.
Yeah, and I think it's also like not super collectible either, right?
Right. Yeah, I have stacks of these because they're all the rares the same rarity, so I just have so many of the ships and weapons.
Okay, does anyone want a punishing one? No. For a quarter?
How about a foil one from Reflections?
Yeah, right. No, exactly. It's like, no one wants a punishing one, even for like a quarter. I would rather have a quarter than a foil punishing one.
Yeah. Bombing Run I put on here, it's emblematic of another type of rare or type of card in this set that is just extremely complicated for a mechanic that isn't any good. I don't think I've ever had anybody try to do a bombing run against me in 20 years. And it's just partially because the rules for it are so complicated, but also the effect is not any good.
Yeah, sometimes if you're like trial balloons are like, okay, is this going to be a successful concept? No, it's not. It's not. But it's the card will just exist.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this before. Like, you could have made something like this where, okay, if you have, a fighter at a system, play this effect on the system, power +1 in battles related sites. I think that would have worked. Maybe power +2, something like that. You could have made that. That would have been. It's a bombing run. It makes sense. As opposed to whatever's going on here.
Oh, the ugly. The ugliest of the ugly.
Yeah. These are all cards that like broke the game and would continue to break the game all the way up to today, basically.
I think the top offender is inserts.
Yes.
And I think inserts could have worked if they just would have a little bit of a text like, so, inserts, you put them into your opponent's deck, and when they come up, they have to battle that turn, otherwise they lose 4 force, right? And I think it just could have been like, if the opponent has a character that's available for battle, right. It just led to these like really gross strategies, like parking some droids or something out. Like, there was no one to battle, and therefore you just lost 4 force, and they ran 6 of these, and you're just like, went insane.
I like the idea of the tension of the insert slowly coming up the top of your deck. You don't know when it's going to be drawn. That's kind of cool, but what they do is just way too strong. Particularly because the mechanics of the game make it very easy for you to not battle your opponent, hide from them. And the stuff with the destiny numbers is like bad and complicated and easy to cheese. So it makes it really uninteractive. Like, I think they wanted to make it more interactive, but in fact, it just meant people were like going to hide and that's
not battle each other, which I think is the fun part of the game.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
inserts, I think if they just would have had something like if your opponent has a battleable character, right, kind of thing, or if not, they lose 2 force, like penalize them, then maybe the cards wouldn't have been playable. Then they just would have been written off.
And the similar things for Asteroid Sanctuary. It's people are not going to go into the asteroid field. It's just they're going to lose an enormous amount of force every turn. Order to defensive fire, yeah, it's a like a really annoying manipulation effect that's hard to deal with. In order to engage is it's easy to set up a situation where your opponent cannot battle you, though you have characters there, and then they eat like 4 force loss. So it's a 3 or 4, but anyway, it's a 10 force loss.
Honestly, order to engage plus landing claw might be like the most annoying thing on Earth.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of many ways you can set it up so that your opponent's going to lose a lot of force every turn.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, did they randomly run that one Imperial officer that cancels landing claw? No, they didn't.
Though I would say, if not for this bad combo, landing claw is a good card, and I would have put it on my good for the set because it's cool to make an undercover spy ship.
I agree. I think landing claw is actually a coolly designed card.
In a vacuum at least.
But I think if we had to rank sets, this is like a C, D, or D
tier.
Executor Yoda make it kind of okay, but like Jedi testing, we didn't include the Jedi testing thing, which was not viable to do. You just like lost the game if you tried doing it.
Well, yeah. So I didn't. I probably should put something about that in here. Jedi testing in this set by itself, you only test to 1, maybe to 2, but you're setting up this whole thing so you can turn off your opponent's force strain bonuses. And that is not particularly thematic, so it's like not really what it's intended to be doing. Later on, yes, with objectives, you can make an actual Jedi testing deck.
Great. Well, that's Dagobah, folks. Love it or hate it. It was set for, and I think it was sort of the beginning of a rough-ish block for this, although I think it's good. But Jabba's Palace, we'll get into those in the coming weeks. But thanks for hanging out. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will catch you guys later.